as you saw on the picture for this video, it's called the Black Prince. Okay, and this is the symbol of the Black Prince. It's 3 feathers or quills. You could argue maybe even arrows. They have points on the end of them with feathers on there, obviously. And on the bottom, you see a crown that is surrounding these arrows or feathers. And underneath, you see the words Ich dien, which means I serve. I serve. Now, you will notice there's a space between Ich and dien where this feather is interrupting the flow, shall we speak. I'm going to talk to that in just a second. So now this is Chucky's famous crest, okay? This is the crest of the Prince of Wales. And it is completely different than his son's crest, who is now the Prince of Wales. Now, when I say completely different, when you first look at it, you're going to think, that's not different at all. But this is the coat of arms of William, okay? He's the new Prince of Wales. And you're thinking, oh, no, that's the same one. Well, there's a lot of things missing from this one that are on the other one, and we're going to talk about those things. You'll notice there's nothing at the bottom of it. Some of the things in the middle are missing, and the horse isn't really chained to anything. It's just kind of the chain's just kind of sitting in the grass and so forth. All right, if we go back over here to Chucky, Chucky's got a lot more happening. Okay, so if you notice here, you've got this crest. The horse is chained to the red dragon. Okay, chained specifically to the red dragon, and on the other side is that symbol of the Black Prince. Okay, now if you notice across the bottom, it says Ich dien, I serve. Right, so first you have the Black Prince, and arguably there's a space between Ich dien for the Black Prince, so you can say I, the Black Prince, serve, and then you go across and you have the red dragon. So it can mean I, the Black Prince, serve the red dragon. And then underneath you have I serve, meaning I serve the Black Prince and the red dragon, you can argue. And then you have it obviously chained there. Now in the middle as well, you'll notice there are 10 lions. Now on the other crest, it's missing this middle shield here with the king. So there's 10 lions. Now we know that the Antichrist is going to have 10 kings underneath him. So you have 10 lions plus the one red lion up in the corner who's kind of over them all, you can argue, similar to the red dragon. So you've got the 4 in the middle, and then you've got 3 down on the lower right and 3 in the upper left, okay, for a total of 10. And then you have the 1 in the upper right-hand corner who is essentially over them. Okay, so Ich dien, I serve, or I, the Black Prince, serve the red dragon. Chucky gave a speech. This is at the W to the E to the F of 2020, okay? And this guy, Mr. Villain, James Bond villain, you will eat the bugs, he works for Chucky, okay? That's what we have to understand. It's not the other way around. Chucky's the one in charge. Chucky's in charge. Charles in charge, okay? He's in charge. They've been doing puns on his name since I don't know when. It's like that movie Chucky, little redhead doll who's really the Antichrist. Yeah, well, same concept, right? So they've been playing off of that for a long time, it seems. And so Mr. Schwabe here, he is introducing Chuckster, okay, right now in 2020. But Chuckster is really the one in charge. So now when he first goes up there, this is the backdrop. And special address, Prince of Wales, right? And then Chucky gets up there, and the backdrop suddenly changes to this. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little bit better view of that image. So this is what appears behind Chuckster. Boy, doesn't that look familiar? Yeah, that's the symbol of the Black Prince. Okay, the Black Prince. And if you remember, we said that he was given a crown and held a bow as well. And we talked about the rainbow. Now, you literally have the rainbow over him. So the Black Prince feathers have been turned into a rainbow. And you might say includes a crown on the bottom, that little ring on the bottom, which you'll see these colors and these rings associated with everything that has to do with this whole end times agenda that they have with the climate and obviously with perverting, gender and everything else that they're doing, right? The rainbow is involved, right? So you've got this rainbow that we've talked a lot again in other videos, but now it's specifically related to these feathers of the Black Prince. And behind him there are 66. On the bottom, those little ones are 65, plus the one in the middle on top is 66 of these Black Prince feathers, right? But you'll notice the feathers are not feathers, but they're actually lines, okay? And if you count the lines of the feathers, well, of course. Are you surprised? 6, 6, 6. Each feather has 6 lines. So they've turned the feathers into 6 lines each to form 666. So basically you have 66 of 666 behind Chucky as he's giving this speech. Now, what I also thought was interesting when I looked at these lines is it reminded me of the barcode. And here's just a reminder that Prince Charles of Wales, in gematria, in both English and Hebrew, is 666. Okay, so I know people have looked at, Mr. O and Mr. T. I think they're going to wind up being one of the 10 kings is what I would guess. Because they don't check this guy checks so many boxes. It's just like there's nobody even comes close. Nobody even comes close to the boxes that this guy checks. Now this is his official name, because his name is Charles Philip Arthur George, but this is the name that he goes by. He doesn't go by a last name in public, right? He goes by Prince Charles of Wales, and then he'll become King Charles III, I guess, is the new moniker. But nobody else even comes close. Here's Mr. O. I think I had Mr. O open here too. There's been a lot of play with Mr. O in Hebrew, and you can make him say, line up to 666 too. But that just means that they serve the same mark, the same beast. And there will be 10 kings. There will be 10 kings underneath the Antichrist. But Mr. O doesn't have the power this guy has. He doesn't have the influence. He doesn't have all the connections that we've gone over in those other 4 videos. So before you say, "Oh no, it's him or it's him," watch the other 4 videos. Then get back to me on that, because I guarantee you will see they don't even come close. They don't even come close in terms of the qualifications. They have some of them, but not nearly as many. So I was reminded when I looked at these feathers with their lines, right? The original mark of the beast that was put in place was the barcode. The thinking is that you're going to get a barcode stamped on your head, and it may be something like that, actually. You may or may not know that every barcode has 666 built into it. So when you see a barcode, it's 666, right? And so that's pretty significant. But these barcodes are what they originally intended the mark of the beast to be, right? And that's why they built it into the original barcode. That every barcode has 666 built into it. The first, middle, and last number of every barcode, everything you buy at the store, you're buying something that has 666 in it. So it is curious that when you look at what he did there, that is also 666, right? This behind him, it's also a barcode. It's also a barcode. So it may be pointing to the mark, maybe pointing to the actual mark that we're going to have that you can scan. It may be something like this that you can put on people and you can scan it because it has the 666 built into it.